You can look at this later, but this is something I bring along to marches, water marches and climate change marches. And I can tell you also where I got it. Well, the artwork is, should I take credit? Mine, more or less. No, you don't have to clap. I had to cover up a partisan part of it, so. Okay, quiet. I am Nikki, Descoteaux Environmental Co-Issues Group, co-chair for the League of Women Voters of Palm Beach County, which is in Florida. And I'm representing many of our Florida chapters, especially in South Florida. Florida has 8,426 miles of shoreline, second only to Alaska. We are surrounded on two sides by the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean, linked by our keys, our southernmost islands. The state has more than 30,000 lakes, the largest of which is Lake Okeechobee, which at 700 square miles is the nation's third largest natural freshwater lake, totally within the United States. There are more than 11,000 miles of other kinds of waterways. And we have the Everglades, the river of grass, a flowing body of water and sawgrass prairie, 100 miles long and 60 miles wide, spanning the entire peninsula south of Disney World and Lake Okeechobee. If you drive 10 minutes from my home, you're at the Loxahatchee National Wildlife Refuge with its wildlife, like the alligator, and myriad channels and thick aquatic vegetation. Everglades damage is real. All of this water, and by extension the whole state, are in danger. Look on the screen for the major culprits and their henchmen causing flooding, shore shrinkage, Everglades damage, well and aquifer contamination, toxic algal blooms, and more. Sea level rise, oil and gas drilling, and fracking proposals, and polluted interior water keep environmentalists busy. Are you breathless from the enormity of Florida's water issues? For today, let's just take on sea level rise, one of Florida's League's priorities. The steady rise of the ocean is not tomorrow in Florida, it is today. And by 2060, it may be almost 3 feet above the height in the year 2000. Already in coastal communities, the water has risen several inches. Now, several inches may not seem like a lot to you, but in Key West, Naples, or my city of Boynton Beach, where we are at 3 feet above sea level, and Miami Beach at 2 to 4 feet, those inches mean flooding every fall king tide. Even with the sun shining, we do not need a hurricane to flood. In fact, in 2016, an octopus was found floating in a Miami Beach parking garage. It moved by itself. Under the Everglades are aquifers providing water to 1 in 3 Floridians. They are suffering from saltwater intrusion because of long existing drainage and flood control systems, agricultural irrigation using up our precious water, farm and residential development right up to the edge of the glades, and cross-state roads, all of which reduce fresh water flow in the Everglades to Florida Bay. The sea comes in where there is no fresh water to hold it back. I guess this is the next one? Thanks. The Comprehensive Everglades Restoration Plan was originally approved in 2000 as a part of the Water Resources Development Act. Here is the current federal and state-approved strategy to restore freshwater flow and to slow down saltwater intrusion. It is supported by our state league and its chapters. We went to Tallahassee and we talked to our delegations about it. Last year, through our advocacy and that of the environmental organizations, the legislature and our climate change denying governor approved SB 10 mandating and funding the EAA storage reservoir and stormwater treatment area south of Lake Okeechobee. This water will move south, increasing the flow, retarding saltwater intrusion, and limiting toxic algal blooms. Our league chapters are involved in educating about climate change, sea level rise, and resilience. We make presentations to municipalities, residents, schools, and the like, inviting panels of experts to share their knowledge as to what we can and should do. For example, the Lower Keys League ran a series of community forums on the issue, and my own league held a hot topics luncheon on sea level rise with renowned expert John Englander. We can't do this alone, so we are deeply involved with coalitions and advisory groups to address the problem. A Lower Keys League representative was instrumental on an advisory committee in getting a building height exemption code passed in Key West. Miami-Dade's League is a founding member of the Miami Climate Alliance, both critical in passing a $500 million bond in 2017 to build Miami's resilience to sea level rise. Perhaps the powerhouse of these coalitions, also supported by the League, is the Southeast Florida Regional Compact, Climate Change Compact, created in 2010 to coordinate climate action plans over 4 South Florida counties. The League has been influential in getting more municipalities to join the compact, often speaking before the city councils to encourage membership. After doing so in 2017, the city of Boca Raton joined. Obviously, we are fighting against the tide, both figuratively and literally. Our accomplishments so far are limited, but growing. Sea level rise cannot be stopped. But the League will continue with its partners to educate, to advocate, and to develop means of adaptation and resilience in order that Florida can be our home at least for the next decades. Thank you.